Hello students, today we will be solving R5 paper of NEET 2024. So the first question in zoology section is assertion. Follicle stimulating hormone acts upon ovarian follicle in female and Leydig cells in case of male. So FSH does not act upon Leydig cell. FSH does not act upon Leydig cell. It is luteinizing hormone. So the option is first one is wrong. While the second one, growing ovarian follicle secretes estrogen in female, while interstitial cell secretes androgen in male human being, which is correct. So we'll go with the option 3. Next question. It is based upon the bonds which are present between the molecules. So lipases, it is ester bond. Nucleases, it is phosphodiester bond. Proteases, it is peptide linkage, while amylases, it is glycosidic linkage, which makes it option number 2. Now, this question is from the conducting system of heart. We have to arrange from which the action potential is generated. So, the first one is SA node, second one is AV node, third is AV bundle, fourth is bundle branches, and the fifth one is Purkinje fiber, which is option number 4. Directly the questions have come from NCERT book. So next we have to see now pons, which connects different region of the brain. Hypothalamus, it has neurosecretory cells, we know, that's why it also helps in forming neurohypophysis in case of pituitary. Now medulla oblongata is controlled respiratory and gastric secretion. It is having respiratory centers. And cerebellum, it provides additional space for neuron, regulates posture and balance. So option number 1. Now students, we know from evolution chapter that Hardy-Weinberg principle is affected by 5 factors. Among them, genetic drift, it is present, gene migration present, and genetic recombination is present. Which of the following does not affect is gene pool, constant gene pool. Next, in both sexes of cockroach, a pair of joint filamentous structure called anal cerci are present on the 10th segment. Now next, in this question, it is required a little bit of mathematical calculation. Let's see. So expiratory capacity. Now, expiratory capacity refers to the tidal volume, expiratory reserve volume, the amount of air that can be exhaled after forceful inspiration. Now, the next one is so 158, the flipper of penguin and dolphins are example of analogous organ which forms it as convergent. Next question 157. So here we have to mark between list 1 and list 2. Now expiratory capacity, amount of air that can be forcefully exhaled, that is tidal volume plus the inspiratory reserve volume. So option number A. Now B, functional residual volume. Functional residual volume is expiratory reserve volume plus the residual volume. So B 4. Vital capacity forms expiratory reserve volume, tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume, which makes it option number 4. Next, direct NCERT question. Now, the flippers of penguin and dolphin is an example of analogous organ which forms convergent evolution. Next, 159. List. So, alpha 1 antitrypsin is used to cure emphysema. Cry1AB gene is for corn borer. Cry1AC gene is for cotton bollworm, and enzyme replacement therapy is given for ADA patients, which is option number 2. Next question. Let's zoom in. Now, 160. Now, Down syndrome is because of 21st chromosome. Alpha thalassemia is 16th chromosome. Beta thalassemia is because of 11th chromosome, and Klinefelter syndrome is because of X chromosome, which makes it question number option number 2. Now, next question is the presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity. Yes, this option is correct. Number 2, the hymen is torn during the first coitus only. This option is wrong. So statement 1 is correct while statement 2 is incorrect. Now directly, common cold by rhinoviruses. Hemozoin is released when plasmodium affects. Vidal test is for typhoid. Allergy is because of dust and mites. This is option number 2. Which of the following is not a component of fallopian tube? We know that uterine fundus is a part of uterus and not the part of fallopian tube. 164. Now again we have to arrange it in different cell division stages. It starts from gap 1 phase, then the synthesis phase, followed by the gap 2 phase, karyokinesis, the division of nucleus, and followed by division of the cytoplasm, which is option number 3. Again, a simple direct question from NCERT. Now, exoneme is present in cilia and flagella. Cartwheel pattern is observed in case of centrioles. Cristae are formed from the inward folding of mitochondria, while satellites are present on the chromosome. So, option 3. Next question. Now, assertion reason type. Breastfeeding during initial stages of infant growth is recommended by doctor for bringing a healthy baby. So yes, it is correct because it contains several antibodies absolutely essential to develop resistance for newborn baby. So both the statements are correct and reason is well explaining the assertion. So option number 4. Moving on to next question. Let's zoom in. Now, it starts from diakinesis. Diakinesis is complete terminalization of chiasmata that occurs in diakinesis stage. Next is pakitin. Pakitin is appearance of recombinant nodules, which is observed in case of pakitin. Next is zygote. Zygote is synaptonemal complex formation, and leptotin we know chromosomes, they look like thin thread-like structures. So the option is A, 2, B, 4, C, 1 and D, 3. Next one. Next one is, again we have to mark. So the fibrous joint which do not allow any kind of movement. So it is found in the skull which do not allow any kind of movement. So A, 3. Next is cartilaginous joint which is present between adjacent vertebrae and limited amount of movement can be observed in case of cartilaginous joints. So B, 1. C, hinge joint is present in the knee which helps in locomotion. So C, 4. And the last one is ball and socket joint which is present in humerus and pectoral girdle which allow rotational movement. So D, 2. So the option should be A3, B1, C4 and D2. Now, next question. Once again, which of the following factors are favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin? Formation of oxyhemoglobin. So the option is high P or partial pressure of oxygen and lesser H plus ion concentration. Lesser H plus ion concentration matlab less acidic condition. Now, which of the following is not a natural or traditional contraceptive method? We know there are 3 natural. One is periodic abstinence, lactation amenorrhea and coitus interruptus. while walled is a barrier method. It is not the natural one. Now, which of the following is an autoimmune disease? So, in NCRT, it is mentioned myasthenia gravis and rheumatoid arthritis. Among this, gout and muscle dystrophy are not autoimmune disease. It is systemic lupus SLE disease, which makes it ABE only. Okay. So, now the next question. TI plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefacium refers to tumor-inducing plasmid. It is tumor-inducing plasmid directly from NCRT line. Now, next one. 173. Which one is the following product of DNA dependent polymerase to the given template? So the template is given, you have to find out the product of DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Directly you have to change it. T is replaced by A is replaced by U. So instead of thymine, uracil will come into the action. So you just have to write the opposite. A U G U A C C G U U U A U A G G U A G U, and the sequence should start from 5 dash to 3 dash end. So hence it makes option 4. Now next, which of the following is incorrect? Next वाले में हमें incorrect. The most commonly used bioreactors are the stirring type. Yes, it is the stirring type. Option is correct. Now the bioreactors are used to produce small scale bacterial culture. No, large scale. So the option should be number 2. Now, match list 1 and 2. Cocaine is extracted from Erythroxylum coca plant. Heroin is extracted from Papaver somniferum after acetylation of morphine, which act as effective sedative in case of surgeries, and marijuana is extracted from cannabis sativa. So 175, option number 5. Directly. Now, which of the following is not a steroid hormone? It is glucagon. Next, non-medicated IUD is lipase loop. 3. Copper releasing is multi-load 375. Hormone releasing is LNG20. Number 4. And implants progestogens. So option number 3. Now next question. Directly. Now, in the nephron, the descending loop of Henle is impermeable to water. It is more permeable to water, the descending loop. So, the option is incorrect. The proximal convoluted tubule is lined by simple columnar brush border epithelium and increases the surface area for the absorption. This option is again wrong. So, option 1, which both statement 1 and statement 2 are false. Now, given below are some stages of human evolution, arrange them in sequence. We know it starts from Dryopithecus, Australopithecus, which is not mentioned in the option. So, directly we'll move from Homo habilis, then Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, and the fourth one, latest one, which we are like Homo sapiens. So, option number 3. Next. So, option A stands for skeletal muscle. It is skeletal muscles. Number 2 is smooth muscle. And the third one is cardiac muscle. So, we just have to give examples along with the location. So, skeletal muscle, it is present in tricep muscles. Smooth muscle is present in stomach. And the last one is cardiac muscle, which is heart. So, option number A. So, skeletal muscle, tricep, smooth muscle, stomach, and cardiac muscle is in heart. So next question. Next question is from Animal Kingdom. Pleurebranchia is an example of Ctenophora. Radula is present in mollusca. Stomachord is a part of hemichordate, and air bladder is present in ostisthies. So option number 1. Now next one is scientific names of different fishes. So pterophyllum is angelfish. Mixane is an example of, is the scientific name of hagfish. Prestis is the scientific name of sawfish, and Exochetus is directly flying fish. So option number A. Next one is match the column again. So we have to find out the causal organism of the diseases. So typhoid is a bacterial disease, Leishmaniasis is a protozoan, ringworm is fungal, and filaria we know it is a nematode. So option number 1. So this question it's a direct question. So the following diagram showing restriction sites in E. coli cloning vector PBR 322, find the role of X and Y. So the straightforward, it is the gene X is responsible for controlling the copy number of linked DNA, and Y is responsible for the protein involved in the replication of plasmid. So option number 1. Next question is from Animal Kingdom. So consider the following statement. Annelids are true coelom mates, which is correct. Next, poriferans are pseudocoelomate. We know it is wrong. Ascalminthus are acoelomate. Again wrong. It is pseudocoelom. And the last one is platyhelminthes are pseudocoelomates. It is again wrong. 185A. So section B. Now, choosing the correct statement given below regarding juxtamedullary nephron. So, juxtamedullary nephron, we know cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron. Juxtamedullary nephron, it comes deep down till the medullary region. That's why the name suggests medullary nephron. Let's see which option matches the first. So, renal corpuscle of juxtamedullary nephron lies in the outer portion of the renal medulla. Loop of Henle of juxtamedullary nephron runs deep in medulla, which actually satiates the need. So option number 2. 187. Bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where all blood cells including lymphocytes are produced. The statement has come directly from NCERT. So the statement is correct. Next, bone marrow and thymus provide microenvironment for the development and maturation of T lymphocyte. Again, a direct statement from NCERT. So, option both. Statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Now, the structure used for storing food in case of cockroach, it is crop. So, 1A, 4. Next, a ring of 6 to 8 blind tubules at the junction of foregut and midgut. It is gastric CK. Next, a ring of 100 to 150 yellow colored thin filament at junction of midgut and hindgut. It is Malpighian tubule. And the last one, the structure used for grinding food. We know it is gizzard. So, option number 4. Now, again we have to match. So directly the P wave represents the depolarization of atria. QRS wave represents the depolarization of ventricles, while P wave refers to the repolarization of ventricles. So we just have to mark. So P wave, it represents depolarization of atria. QRS complex, it represents the depolarization of atria. T wave represents the repolarization. So option number 1. Next question. So as per ABO blood grouping system, the blood group of father is B positive while the mother is A positive. Child is O positive. their respective genotype can be. So first of all, let's have some common sense. So if the parent is, father is B positive, mother is A positive, child is O positive or O positive. So O stands for small I, which is homozygously recessive condition. So the parent, they should be heterozygous condition. That means IBI, IA, and small I for the child. So option C is wrong, option D is wrong, option E is wrong. Now the parents are homozygously dominant, which is not possible. So option A, option number 4, A only. Now next again we have to match RNA polymerase 3, that is snRNAs and tRNAs. Termination of transcription is by the Rho factors. Splicing of exon is by snRNPs. Tata box is a kind of promoter. So option number 3. Next, mitochondria and chloroplast both are double membrane bound cell organelle. Yes, it is absolutely correct. Next, inner membrane of mitochondria is relatively less permeable as compared to the chloroplast. The statement directly comes from NCERT line where it is mentioned that inner membrane of chloroplast is relatively less permeable when compared to the mitochondria. So it is exactly opposite to that. Hence, this statement is wrong. Let's go with statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Next, now they have provided you with a flow chart in which GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone, it affects LH and FSH. We know follicle stimulating hormone. LH will affect which cells, and that cells they start secreting androgens. We know it is Leydig cells. We know it is Leydig cells, and it helps in the formation of spermatids. Now the FSH, it acts upon Sertoli cells. It acts upon Sertoli cells, and the factors they help in spermatogenesis. They help in spermatogenesis. Now FSH, A stands for FSH, B stands for Leydig cells or the interstitial cells, C is Sertoli cells, and D stands for spermatogenesis. So we have to go with the option 4. Moving forward, next question is, now it is mentioned the following are the statements about non-chordates. So you have to be little vigilant over here that it is mentioning non-chordates. So pharynx is perforated by gill slit. It is a characteristic feature of chordates. So no. Notochord is absent. Yes, it is absent in case of non-chordates. Central nervous system is dorsal in case of chordates. So again, this option does not satiates. Next, heart is dorsal in case if it is present. So it is a characteristic feature of non-chordates. Post analte is absent in case of non-chordates while it is present in case of chordates. So option number B. Now, Gauss's competitive exclusion principle states that two closely related species competing for different resources cannot exist indefinitely. So this is a wrong statement as per NCERT. Now, according to Gauss's principle, during competition, the inferior will be eliminated. This may be true if resources are limiting. This statement is true, hence option number 3. Now, regarding catalytic cycle of an enzyme action, select the correct sequential steps. So again, we have to arrange it in sequence. So it starts with substrate binding to the active site. Substrate has to bind with the active site, followed by substrate enzyme complex formation, a complex between substrate and the enzyme will be formed. Next is chemical bonds of the substrates, they are broken. So the chemical bonds will be broken. Next is release of the product, and the enzymes, they are free again. to bind with another substrate molecule. So option number 4. Let's zoom in. Now, the cerebral hemisphere are connected by nerve tract known as corpus callosum. Yes, it is a true statement. Now, the brain stem consists of medulla oblongata, pons, and midbrain, while cerebrum is a part of forebrain. So, it is wrong. So, first statement is correct, while the second statement is incorrect. Next, 198. Now, exophthalmic goiter, it is because of hypersecretion of thyroid gland. So, hypersecretion of thyroid gland, and the symptom is protruding eyeballs. So, option A will have 3. Now, acromegaly, we all know it is because of the secretion of excessive secretion of growth hormone. So, acromegaly, excessive secretion of growth hormone. Now, there are two options. Third, C. Cushing syndrome is excessive secretion of cortisol, moon phase, and hyperglycemia. They are the common features in case of Cushing syndrome. Next one is creatinism. Creatinism is the last option which is left. So, hypersecretion of thyroid hormone and stunted growth. So, option number 3. Now, next question. Unicellular gland, we know goblet cells, they are unicellular of alimentary canal. Compound epithelium, it is present in the moist surface of buccal cavity. Multicellular glandular epithelium is present in case of salivary gland, while the endocrine glandular part, we know it is pancreas. So, option number 2. And the last question, it has come from evolution chapter. So, we just have to find out Mesozoic era is for the birds and reptiles because dinosaurs were found during that time. Next, we know Cenozoic era is for mammals, Paleozoic era is for fishes and amphibians, last is Proterozoic period, which is for lower invertebrates, and the option is 3. So that's all for the zoology section, and the paper was actually quite easy, completely from NCERT. Thank you.